Quick question. If you stopped working tomorrow, would the money stop too? Because that's the difference between active income and passive income. Active income says, show up or don't get paid. Passive income says, I don't care where you are, just don't break me. I've had several people in the comments to ask me, how do you make dollars but spend pesos? Well, in part one, we talked about how to earn strong currencies while living in Colombia by working remotely, creating content and selling services. Today is the other side of the equation. What happens after that? Hey, I'm Matt, the Americano, an American living in Colombia. On this channel, I break down what it's like to live abroad and how changing where you live can completely change how far your income goes. This is part two of a two-part series on how to make dollars or euros, Canadian dollars, Swiss francs, while living in Colombia. If you didn't see part one, no problem. That video covered traditional remote jobs, content as a job, global services, and using Colombia as a real operating base. This video is about what comes after that. We're talking about passive income, digital products, assets, investing, and income streams that don't require you to be present every single day. Not magic, not overnight, but income that scales beyond your time and keeps working whether you're in Bogotá, Medellin, or nowhere near your laptop. Let's get into it. Let's start with one of the cleanest forms of passive income, intellectual property. This is anything you create once that can be sold over and over and over again without caring where you live. You're not trading hours anymore, you're building assets. Amazon KDP is still one of the most accessible ways to create IP. That includes low content books, things like journals, puzzles, planners, medium content books, guides, workbooks, full nonfiction books and fiction, novels included. You build it once, upload it, and Amazon handles everything else, the printing, the delivery, the payments. You don't talk to customers, you don't ship anything. It just sells, or it doesn't, and you improve it. Next up is digital products, not physical and not complicated. This is anything downloadable. Think PDFs, templates, checklists, spreadsheets, Notion or Airtable systems, prompt packs, courses, toolkits. Same idea, front-loaded work, back-end sales. You can have global buyers with zero geography limits. And again, Colombia gives you runway to build these patiently instead of rushing garbage to market. Music is intellectual property, and this one's very real. This one surprises people. Music is IP. That includes songs you write traditionally, instrumentals, background music, lo-fi, ambient tracks, worship music, house music, and yes, AI-assisted music. If you write it, compose it, generate it, or arrange it, you can distribute it, license it, monetize it. Streaming platforms don't care where you live, they care what people listen to. And once a song is out there, it keeps working, even when you're not. And AI doesn't disqualify this, it scales it. Using AI doesn't make it fake, it makes it faster. As long as the music is original, properly licensed, and distributed correctly, it's still IP. Just like using Photoshop didn't kill photography or using spell check didn't kill writing. AI is a tool, not the business. Now, why is intellectual property so powerful from Colombia? Well, intellectual property doesn't require offices, local customers, or physical presence. You can build books, products, music, and digital assets and sell them globally and live anywhere. That's the definition of location independence. Now, this isn't instant. Most IP makes little money at first, inconsistent money early, and meaningful money later. But once it works, it stacks. One book becomes 5, one song becomes an album, one product becomes a catalog, and suddenly you're not starting from zero anymore. Content doesn't start passive, but over time, it can become semi-passive. And the difference is scale. In the beginning, you create, you publish, you promote. If you stop, everything stops. But as your catalog grows, something changes. Older content keeps getting views, keeps ranking, keeps getting shared, keeps earning. That's when content starts doing part of the work for you. Not all of it, but enough that matters. Some formats age better than others. Evergreen YouTube videos, for example, educational content, tutorials and explainers, reviews and comparisons, newsletters with archives, podcasts with long shelf life. These don't depend on trends. They depend on people searching for answers. Once content reaches scale, monetization becomes layered. Ad revenue, affiliate links, sponsorships, your own products, newsletter sponsors, paid memberships. One piece of content can earn today next month, and years from now. That's the semi-passive part. Now, why this works well from Colombia? Well, you have lower living costs, which mean you don't need instant monetization. You can focus on quality, you can stay consistent longer, and consistency builds the catalog. The catalog builds leverage. This still requires maintenance. Algorithms change, links break, sponsors rotate. So this isn't set it and forget it. It's build it once, maintain it lightly. That's a huge difference from trading hours for dollars. Content that becomes semi-passive reduces income, volatility, creates leverage, and supports other income streams. It turns active work into long-term assets and effort into momentum. Next up is software, sites, and digital assets. This category is where passive income starts to look like ownership instead of effort. Software, websites, and digital assets don't pay you because you work today. They pay you because you own something people use. So what counts as a digital asset? Well, this includes things like SaaS products. If you don't know what SaaS is, SaaS stands for software as a service. Then you have micro SaaS tools, niche websites, directories, marketplaces, paid tools or utilities, content sites with traffic and revenue. You build it or buy it, and then you maintain it instead of working it every day. That's a very different relationship with income. Software doesn't scale linearly. You don't need more staff for every new user, more hours for every new customer. Once it works everywhere. And this is where low operating costs, like living in Colombia, make experimentation much easier. And this is exactly what I do with my business. I have World Foundry, which is a venture studio, not a single startup. It's a startup factory. The model is simple. Come up with ideas, build them quickly, launch them, operate them, and then either keep them or sell them. Instead of betting everything on one company, you're building and testing many. Some fail, some break even. Some become real assets. That's where it gets interesting. You're not just earning income, you're creating sellable assets. Websites, SaaS products, and digital businesses can be sold for cash, sold for multiples of profit, or kept for long-term income. This turns entrepreneurship into a repeatable process, not a one-shot gamble. Alongside this, there's the World Foundry community. This isn't about raising money or pitching deals. It's about investing, entrepreneurship, business building, digital assets, real estate, and how people are actually structuring their lives and income. We also do in-person cocktail meetups after our Bogotá Nomads dinners, where the conversation continues offline. No slides, no hype, just real discussions. If that's your world, you'll probably enjoy it. Software and digital assets are location independent, scalable, sellable, and flexible. They're not passive on day one, but over time, ownership replaces effort, and that's the shift.
Before we jump in, I've got something brand new that's going to make your life a lot easier if you're thinking about moving to Colombia. I'm releasing a new series of 2026 Colombia regional guides, 7 in total, covering every major region of the country. Each guide includes up-to-date cost of living for the most popular cities in the region, safety indexes, healthcare information, a directory of trusted doctors, attorneys, tax specialists, visa services, and relocation specialists, plus the visa requirements and options. Everything you need to plan your move. They're normally going to be $29 each, but for our Black Friday launch through December 15th, they're only $19, and you can add any extra region for just $10 more. They'll start rolling out between December 15th and the 23rd, and every one of them gets quarterly updates through 2026. And if you want all 7 and access to the new Passport community launching January 1st, you can pre-order that now too. Members get all 7 guides included, plus access to our private forums, cost of living data tables, and visa resources for every region. The community will be $29 a month or $299 a year, and there's also a pro plan with a monthly live Q&A session for $49 a month or $499 a year. But right now, during pre-launch, you can lock in the 2026 year for half price, $149 or $249 for the year. And remember, that $249 option gets you live Q&A sessions every month with me on a Zoom call, and you can ask whatever you want. Everything's linked below. Grab your regional guide, pre-order your community membership, and join us as we make living abroad easier than ever.
Next up is investing in capital-based income. This category is different because now money is doing the work, not you. Investing in capital-based income usually come after you've built active income or assets. But once it's in place, it adds stability and flexibility that work alone can't. Capital-based income means you're earning returns because you allocated capital, not because you showed up today. That includes things like stocks, funds, dividends, and ownership stakes. You're not building products here, you're deploying money intelligently. Stocks and long-term investing is the most common entry point. Things like index funds, ETFs, long-term stock holdings. Boring? Yes. Effective? Also yes. This is about consistency, time in the market, and letting compounding do its thing. Living in Colombia helps here because lower expenses mean higher savings rates, more capital to invest, less pressure to chase risky returns. Then you have dividend income. Dividend investing is especially popular with people living abroad. Why? Well, it's predictable cash flow, paid regularly, no daily management. You're essentially building a portfolio that sends you money, whether you're working or not. It's not exciting, but it's extremely calming. Once people get comfortable, they sometimes move into angel investing, revenue share deals, private equity style small deals, minority stakes in businesses. These are higher risk, but higher reward, and usually come after you understand cash flow and downside. This is not where beginners start. So investing is not fast. It rewards patience, discipline, and consistency. It punishes emotion, impatience, and chasing trends. Capital-based income works best when it's boring, diversified, and aligned with a long-term plan. This is the layer that reduces dependence on work, smooths income volatility, and protects lifestyle choices, and creates long-term security. It's not flashy, but it's foundational. Next up, we have buying income. This is the shortcut most people don't realize exists. Instead of building something from zero, you buy something that already makes money. You're not starting with an idea, you're starting with cash flow. This means acquiring assets that already earn: websites, content sites, SaaS products, newsletters, digital tools, small online businesses. They already have traffic, users, revenue, and systems in place. Your job is no longer to create. It's to optimize and manage. Building takes time, but buying trades money for speed. You skip the zero revenue phase, the trial and error phase, the does this even work phase, and instead you focus on improving what's already there and increasing revenue and reducing costs, or simply letting it run. Common acquisition paths include buying niche websites, buying SaaS tools, buying content businesses, revenue share deals, sweat equity partnerships. Some people improve the asset, others just stabilize it and collect. Both count. Lower living costs in Colombia mean you don't need massive income to live well. Smaller acquisitions become viable and modest cash flow feels meaningful. A site earning a few $1,000s a month can completely change your lifestyle here. Buying income is not risk-free. You still need to do due diligence, understand how the business makes money, know what could break. You're buying an asset, not a guarantee. But when done right, this model accelerates income, reduces dependence on time, and turns ownership into leverage. This is where income becomes optional, work becomes selective, and location truly stops mattering. You're not paid for effort anymore, you're paid for ownership. And the perfect example of this is the first two startups I ever did. I started in 1998. One was pedalcars.com, which was a pedal car online retailer, and the other was redwagon.com, which sold Berlin Flyer wagons. Both were started in 1998. Pedal Cars sold in 2003. Red Wagon sold in 2004. Oddly enough, both sold to companies in Illinois. Maybe Illinois is the toy capital of the US, who knows? But they started in North Carolina. And the thing is, nobody knew that they changed from one state to the other because that's just how internet businesses work. So let's clear something up. Passive income is not zero work. It's less frequent work. Every income stream we talked about still needs decisions, maintenance, and attention occasionally. What changes is this: you're no longer paid only when you show up. You're paid because something you own is working. That's the shift. Passive income is usually front-loaded effort, back-loaded freedom. And most people do it backwards. They chase passive income before they have income. And that's why it fails. This works for people who build active income first, live below their means, reinvest intelligently, and think in years, not weeks. It does not work for people looking for instant results, people who won't stick with anything, or people who think geography replaces effort. Living in Colombia doesn't fix bad habits, but it dramatically rewards good ones. So that's the full picture. This isn't about hacks. It's not about getting rich overnight, and it's definitely not about moving to Colombia and hoping everything magically works. It's about earning in strong currencies, spending in a lower cost country, and building income that gives you options. Part 1 was about building income. Part 2 was about building ownership. If you want to keep going deeper into this world, the passport covers living abroad, earning globally, and making smarter lifestyle decisions. Brokor dives into real estate, business deals, and alternative investments. World Foundry is about building and owning digital businesses and entrepreneurship. Bogotá Nomads is the real world community behind all of this. Dinners, meetups, and conversations that don't happen online. All the links for these are below in the description. Once your income isn't tied to one country, one job, or one system, you stop planning your life around survival. You start planning it around choice. That's the upgrade. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.